Hey everyone, it's me. I'm mm, I've been not too good this last week. I'm not sure if you can see my posts online or on Twitter or whatever, or on even just like general like just bored shit. The TV awards were fine, but I've not been doing good mentally. Uh, Obviously I've been kind of feeling physically ill, but it's just been a bad, rough couple of days. And normally I'd go on like some kind of depressed incel rant, and I might still do that later this week, depending on how bad shit gets. But right now, I want to do something else. Um, Got a lot of comments the last time I did shit saying I need to start putting onus on myself and working on shit and start putting some of the blame on what's going on with my life on me. And I actually that's a good thought. That's a good way to think of things. And I think in general, people should start doing that more. So, for example, I'm going to start with probably one of the biggest problems in a lot of our lives, us all being single and like lonely virgin incel losers. I mean, if you look at me, I'm like the fattest king of incels there possibly is. I mean, nothing else to it. But, you know, that's my situation. That doesn't mean that's your situation. But, if you're watching this video, it probably is. um, but I was thinking about what kind of situation I'm in. And I'm thinking about, okay, let's start looking at what yourself and what your behaviors and what your standards are. I was kind of inspired. There was this website that like calculates how unreasonable women's standards are. Oh, I want a guy who's 6'3" and makes X amount of money and is attractive and not fat, you know. And like I put myself into that calculator. Like, okay, what if a woman wanted me? What percentage of the population am I? And I was like in like the upper 70th percentile or something. I was in like a good top of the population of like the world, I think. So I'm not sure if that was the world of the United States, but whatever. It's like, okay, let's see that for women. I want to put women in there, but there was no calculator for women because I think if we started putting that in, we would actually all get way more black pill than we would like to think. Um, so I, uh, I've decided, okay, let's do some charts here. First of all, I want to get some baseline numbers right off the bat. What kind of pool of dating am I working with here? What's my dating pool look like? And I think in my head, okay, what do I want? It says, okay, let's break this down mathematically because almost everything I want can be measured in some kind of stat or demographic from information I pulled up. And I went ahead and I did it. I did some calculations. Let's get something out of the way first. Common misconception. Yes, it is true there are more women than men in the United States. However, mostly that is because women live longer than men. In terms of what you would consider your dating pool demographic, it's not so pretty. So my dating pool, I'm going to be 25 in a couple weeks, so good time to do this. I have a 5-year upper and below limit. I will date someone who's 5 years older than me and someone 5 years younger than me. Now, is that a crazy standard? Some people will say yes. I don't think so. I think, your age and your experience determines a lot of who you are personality-wise. I don't know if I would get along with someone. I don't think I would get along with an 18-year-old, and I probably would not get along with a 30-year-old, 31-year-old person. I could probably get along with a 30-year-old person fine, but that also would be pushing it. It's probably closer to 4 years, but we're going to be honest. I'm a 25-year-old dude. I probably want to date someone else who's in their 20s. I don't think that's unreasonable. So we're going to go with the age range 20 to 30. How many 20 to 30-year-old women are there in the United States? Well, first of all, of men, there are, I'll get some ink in this, 22.91 million men between 20 and 30. That's a lot of people in the United States. We're doing the USA. This is all USA. I could go international if I did this. Actually, my dating pool would be way bigger if I went international. But no one's going international ever again because we're never opening things back up again. Ever. And don't pretend like we are. It's never going back to normal. Don't lie to yourself. What about women, though? How many women are there in the United States? Oh, my computer screen went dead. I need my stats. There are 21.92 million 20 to 30-year-old women. Now, you can see a problem here, a pretty obvious problem, and it's a bit off, but let's not kid ourselves. There's going to be about 1 million men who don't date, who just straight up don't fuck. They're not getting a partner. unless a bunch of these people die, which they will, a good chunk of these people die, there's going to be at least 1 million men, or about, what would that be? 5%. Yeah, that'd be 5. I can do math in my head. That's about 5% of the male population in the United States between 20 and 30 will not marry. That's just a fact. You're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to live with that. Well, that's bad. We don't want to be part of the 1 million. Our success rate, we don't want to be part of this. This is bad. We do not want to be part of this. That would be a bad thing to happen, because I want to have children and a wife who loves me, and I want to love her. That's something I want, right? So I don't want to be part of the 1 million. Plenty of people are happy to be part of that 1 million. Some of those dudes, take it for the team and just give up now. But if you don't want to, you have to work, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to get handy. There aren't just going to be like hundreds of singles when we get in our 30s that are just going to be available. There's going to be at least 1 million of us that are fucked. Okay? But that's already looking bad. We're already not looking good. But, okay, there's still 21.9, there's still about 22 million women, right, in the United States to break it down from. Well, let's take some out right away. First of all, 29% of women are married in the United States. Between 20 and 30. I looked this up. 29% are married, right? However, of those that are married, of the ones that are not married, that's true. Only... what is this number I wrote down? 32% of women identify as single. So 32% of that population is single. Over 50% of the dude's population is single, so I don't know how that math works out, but are single. Again, this is from some research polling I found. Whether that number is actually true or not, who knows. So there are about 7.01... see if I can get this. Million singles. There is a pool of about 7.1 million. There are about 7 million single women in the United States. There are about 7 million of them. Okay? Now, obviously, we aren't factoring out the dudes. There's probably a ton of this dude population's already taken for or married or whatever. It's actually, I think it's about 50%. So it's about 10 million dudes vying for about 7 million singles. In this age range, but some of that's age different, and some of these guys will go for older women, and it's fine. We're not going to get too black-pilled yet, boys, and I fucking hate the term black pill. It's so dumb and stupid. I'm not going to use any pills. Take the brown pill. So 7% of the population are married or non-married singles, okay? I'm not sure I couldn't get exact numbers on this. I've got anywhere from 1% to 3%, but based on my knowledge, I'm going to say about 5% of the women population are lesbian. Just gonna say, with our age range, it's higher than most, and with the generation below, it's gonna be even higher. We're gonna say 5% lesbian. Okay. We're gonna put some minuses there. I should have got a red pen. So yeah, 5% lesbian. Let's take them out of that pool too. That brings us down to about 6.66 million straight singles. That's an ugly number, but we will get rid of it soon enough. How many... So, okay. Now we get to some personal shit. This is just straight up, all of us are working with this. If you're in your 20s and you're a single straight dude, you're looking at about 6.66 million women you can pull from. Okay, so that's our baseline. That's not a happy baseline to be looking at, but it's the one we got. If your age range is between 20 and 30, like it is for me, and you won't date a married woman because you're not a creep, and you won't date a lesbian because they won't date you, you're looking at 6.6 million women. Now let's get into my personal things. So we go back up, and we put that 6.6 million up here at the top again. Okay. We're starting with 6.66. Let's say we factor out, and this is the reality living in America. I think this is less of a problem in other countries, but in America, it's seriously a problem. Political stuff. Now, I actually don't particularly care what my partner or my girlfriend or my wife's beliefs would be. I should just say girlfriend. There's no other partner besides me. You're dating me, it's a girlfriend. I'm not dating the dude. Um, there's there there's a reality of living in this country where people are politically divided, like way fucking nutso. They are way fucking nutso about shit. And I'm a little bit nutso myself. I mean, I run a fucking internet forum. I'm not someone that a lot of these people will like. I've fringed myself, and that's my own fault. But the reality is, because of who I am, I'm excluded from a huge population of these women. But there is also some of it's not my fault. Some of it's them, like some really extreme radical ideologies taking hold in women, and especially women this generation, to the point where they become essentially unattainable for men. Like good relations have become essentially non-doable. Like I am pretty firm on the trans question. Like I am very vehemently not pro-transsexual. I have family fucked up by that. I believe it's a cult. I genuinely believe it's a cult. Right. I know there are TERFs or whatever that exist, and I'm sure there's a good amount of people, women, who don't agree with it. And that's fine, but a majority of them do, in my opinion. In my experience, a majority of them do. Like a vast majority. I'm going to go by election polling data. I'm going to say everyone who voted, percentage of the population that voted for Joe Biden probably would hate my guts. Like, they wouldn't be able to stand me. We would not be able to get along. It's probably higher than this number, but the percentage of women who voted for Joe Biden was 60%. You minus 60%. Now, that's what I consider to be a lowball number. It's probably higher than that. It's probably closer in the 70 to 80% range. But we're being generous to ourselves, and we're thinking good. We're being kind to ourselves today. We're going to treat ourselves right. We're not going to be hard. We're not going to be miserable to ourselves, okay? 60% of women will not date me for political reasons. And this is personal. You know, if you're a left-leaning dude, that might be 60% the other way, but it might also not be. It might be closer to 50-50. It's just that I'm so into the extreme right. I'm not actually super invested in my political beliefs, honestly. I'm pretty wishy. I'm kind of stupid, so I don't particularly care. I'm not smart enough to make decisions. But 60% are gone because of political reasons. So that leaves us down to 2.66 million. Okay? 2.66 million. Factor out another one for me. I won't date black women because I'm not sure if it's because I'm racist, but I just am not particularly attracted to them. I don't even hate black people. I just don't want to date black women. That's a bad thing on me. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I need to start opening up my heart. And I don't know. I actually have a thing against interracial relationships myself, but some people do, and maybe you should. But it's not for me. I'm not going to do it. So we're going to minus the 13.5% of the population that's black. And this might be fair. I should have done that first before the political stuff, but there's actually probably a lot more white liberal women than there are black liberal women. So we're just going to take this. This is easy. This is some loose math, okay? It's not hardcore, but we're going to get... It's all loosey-goosey, and I think I so overestimated on this one. I'm so, like, fair and, like, you know, open with that 60% that I'm gonna do some extraneous overreach the rest of the way. I think it's gonna more than make up for it. So don't worry, we're still gonna be fucking miserable by the end of this. 2.3 million percent population now that isn't black and will date me because they won't hate my guts for politics. Again, it's not even that I would date a lot of that 60%. Like I would absolutely would. Because I would be able to, you know, reconcile my differences and accept people have a different opinion than me. But I think it's at least 60% that won't accept my political opinions. That's what I think. And there's a couple that I'm too rooted in to change to get laid. Like I'm not gonna change my core beliefs to get laid. That's fucking pathetic. So there's just things that won't change about me that prevent me from going viral. So 2.3 million. Next, we're going down a bit. We're going to obesity. Now, I'm a fat dude. You can see I'm a big fat dude. Just did a weigh-in at about 230. I want to be 200 pounds, but for sanity's sake and for record's sake, here's my standards with obesity in women. I'm just not that attracted to overly weight women. It's not something I'm into. But I'm also fair, and I also don't think it's fair to hold women to standards that I don't hold myself to. So we're going with people who are more obese than I am based on BMI metrics, you know, whatever. Women can't weigh as much as men, so I'm not going to go who are over 230. I'm going to go based on obesity. I'm about the 30 on the BMI scale. Really, because of my build-wise, I should be lower, because I think I'm only about 20 to 30 pounds overweight, versus what they believe I should be like 100 pounds. Like some people, they want me to be like 150 or 160 with my height. And it's just like that. That's not how I am. I have enough shoulders for like 3 people. Okay? It is what it is. But let's hold women to the same standards I hold myself. So, how many, what obesity, anything above what my obesity level is, I'm counting out because I won't do that. Maybe if we like start going to the gym together, whatever. But let's just be fair. I think it's about 38.3%, but I'm gonna round it down to 30. So black, we're gonna go 30% who are fat. Again, and this might be my actual like dating range. This might be the group that this might be the one that kills me. But again, it just like if I don't find you physically attractive, it's just gonna be difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to build a relationship unless it's like, oh yeah, I find you so cute when I don't. I mean, that's not what I want someone to do to me. Like I wouldn't want someone to like lie and pretend I'm not ugly to like pretend that they like me. Like that would be really weird. I would feel uncomfortable with that. So I'm not gonna do that to someone else. I mean, I just don't want to put that on someone. It's not fair. And it's not fair to myself either. So that's 1.61 million left. We're still in the millions. We still got 1 million women. We're still doing okay. We're still good. This is my basic physical level attraction. I'm at 1.61 million, or about 7% of the dating pool. So I would date physically and baseline emotional. Baseline, like we can like talk to each other without killing each other. That's 7%. 7%, baby. We're doing good. That's not bad, right? I mean, that's still a really fucking small number. 1.61 million women total in the United States. I mean, sort of out of every state. I mean, don't worry, I'm going to get to that too. But let's break it down even more. We're not done yet. It's actually 7.3%, so it's a little bit higher. We got to talk about money. So we're going to start with that 1.61 million, aka the 7%. That's 7% that I will date. However, that's what I will date. How many of them will date me? I'm going to put some basic standards on this. Let's start with money. I don't make over $100,000 a year. I won't tell you how much I make, but I make less than $100K a year. Okay? I mean, that's just what I make. And the reality is, with social circles, that kind of excludes me from meeting a lot of women who make over $100K a year. I would absolutely date someone who would. And if you're watching this and interested, I'd be happy to talk to you. But, I'm not, let's be realistic. The percentage of the population that makes over 100K a year is not dating me. We're not in the same culture. We're not in the same world. Okay. That's not the same world I live in. Essentially, maybe I could make 100K a year if I changed my jobs and worked my ass off. But even then, I don't live in that world. That's not who I am. So we're going to take out we're going to say how much of the population makes less than 100K. And that is, what did I write down here? 74%. So still 74% of the population makes 100K a year, makes under 100K. So that's under, right? So 3/4 of the population is 100K and lower total combined household income. Let's take those out of that, because the reality is, let's take that out. Let's take the upper that out of here, because the reality is it's not going to happen. Even if I would love it to happen, they're not going to go for me, because I'm kind of, that's not how much money I make. We're different economic class. We're in different castes, essentially. That brings us down to 1.9 million. 1.19 mil. Okay? We got to cut this more, though, because I want you to take a look around my room. See all this shit, all the anime figures and shit, body pillow, everything like that. We got to cut this number in half. Based on my personality type, and also just general, roll the odds. The ideas of our personalities working together, them being okay with my hobbies, and it's not even like this hobbies, these are like passions of mine. Like I genuinely collect vintage computers. I am like seriously invested in like model making and stuff. Like this is stuff I actually care about and then do enjoy with my life. And I could cut this out and bring this number up more, but the reality is, this is who I am. If I have to lie about who I am to like appease someone, that's just, it's too much for me. And this is where my standards are the problem. Maybe this is where my fault comes in. We're going to cut about half. Half for personality reasons. Both mine and theirs. I'm saying about half of these people I will mesh with. We can like get along, even if they don't like and enjoy the same thing as me. They'll be able to understand it and they'll enjoy it with me. Maybe not enjoy it with me. They can let me enjoy my things and I can let them enjoy their things. You know, we can have a healthy relationship based on my stuff. This is probably higher for a lot of other people, but I've got an abrasive personality and weird interests, and I run a fringe image board. So, you know, it should be higher, but we're going to give it 50%. That brings us down to 0.595 mil, or around 600,000. See that? This is the pool of women who I would be attracted to based on age and basic and like weight requirements, that they are not fatter than me, that they are not more overweight and out of shape than I am, okay, in America, and they would not hate my guts politically, and that we would be able to coalesce and enjoy each other socially on a basic level. We're at about 600,000, rounded up. 600,000. That's not a big number. It's not a lot of people. That may seem like a lot of people to you, but again, remember who I'm competing with. This 600,000 is probably some of the most desirable women on the dating market. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, this is, what am I didn't do my math on this one. I'm going to pull up a calculator quick. Of the 21 point, what was it, like 22? 600 by 22, 1, 2, 3. Of the 22 million, about women in the dating market, it's about 2.7%. 2.72 repeating percent of the women in my age range would be compatible with me for dating. So it's 3. It's not high. It's less than 1 in 10. It's less than 1 in 20. Might even be. It's a little bit over 1 in 40 women are like in the dating range, and that's, you know, how we could just basically get along. That's not even factoring if they'd be attracted to me or they would want to date me, right? That's just like, this is the single available women who I can date, who, like, this is my standards. This is just my standards of what I think, you know, the basic thing is. Like, I can get along with them personality-wise. We are in similar social settings, and we won't kill each other. It's 2.7%. That sounds bad, but it doesn't sound impossible to live with. However, we need to ask, what are the odds of me meeting some of these people? What are the odds of me meeting one of these 600,000? What are the odds of that? Well, I looked this up, and the number could be wrong. I heard that you meet anywhere from 100. Generally speaking, you can meet about 100,000 people in your lifetime, and actually meet, not just like you see someone or like you have encountered someone. The reality is, we have about 32,000 days of life. If you live to 90, you lived for about 32,000 days. So it's not a ton. Okay. So even if we say you meet 4 or 5 people, let's say you meet 5 people a day, like you're really busting your ass, you meet 5 people a day, you can get to 150,000. And that's it. That's like the max you can meet in your lifetime is 150,000 people. Okay. If we give ourselves that, if we give ourselves 150,000 of the United States population, which is about 331 million, let's see, meet 0.05% of U.S. pop in my lifetime. I mean, I play 0.5%, 0.05% of the U.S. population in my lifetime, but the majority of those people will be within my age range, I would think, because of just social stuff. I would think that majority of them will be in that age range. So we're going to put that up to 0.1%. We're going to put that up to 0.1. It's actually 0.1%. Okay? Not 1%, 0.1. As in, not 1 in 100, as in 1 in 1,000. That 600,000 we're talking about is 0.18% of the U.S. population. So that's the amount of women that I will date, like the dating pool, not even just in the dating pool, but like people, like total U.S. population. My options for girlfriends is 0.18%. Okay, of the U.S. population. If we multiply those together, so the amount of people I will meet of the United States population by the percentage of the population, which is people I will meet, will get the odds of me meeting someone that I will want to date in my lifetime. The answer is 0.0018%. Oh, my roommate's up. What? That's awesome. Can I? Give me 1 second. I'll be right there. Okay, back to the video. So there's point. We're gonna round that up again for my sanity's sake. 0.0002%. That's the odds I will meet. That's the odds I'll meet one of the 600,000 in my lifetime. That is 1 in 5,000 chance. That is significantly better than winning the lottery. And obviously this is biased because a lot of this times you would meet in high school or work. You'll be around people your own age, so you'll meet them more often. But to find the one, it's a 1 in 5,000 chance. And that's not even a 1 in 5,000 chance to find the one. That's a 1 in 5,000 chance to get a chance at the one. So guys, this is some recommendations to you. When you fucking see this chance come up, the 1 in 5,000, take it. Take the chance. Because it won't come up again for a long fucking time. Maybe it will, but you're rolling the dice every single time, and you got a limited amount of time, and you don't want to be one of those 1 million. You don't want to be one of the 1 million. You don't want to be part of that lower 5%. Because there's a far higher chance of you being that than there is of that happening. There's a far fucking bigger chance of you ending up in that fucking pile than in finding someone from this pile. So, it happens to you, don't waste your opportunities like I have. I hope you all have a good night.